A well-known quote from Mahatma Gandhi states, "The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others." Monica Torsney is a beautiful example of this belief, having helped people in her physical therapy career for decades.
I'm originally from Michigan, and I lived there most of my life. I just moved to Florida in the last couple of years. I was traveling back and forth with my mom. I had my own Harley. I rode a Harley for 10 years, was a physical therapist, had many great experiences working with people and changing their lives. I love to garden, I love plants, I love cleaning my house. I like people, so I like to go out, I like to go to the beach, things like that.
At 17 years old, Monica was in her first car accident.
And I got rear-ended on my way home from high school. Then I started developing arthritis in my neck. After maybe 2 or 3 years later, I got rear-ended again. I was stopped at a red light and I got hit by a van and got really bad whiplash injury in my neck. And then it really started to get pretty bad. So I was very young, maybe early 20s when a lot of my pain started. And I was also, my career was physical therapy. So obviously I was working with patients, doing a lot of lifting and a lot of things that kind of aggravated it. And I was diagnosed with arthritis first, when I was about 18. Then I was about 23, 24, and then they decided I had ankylosing spondylitis in my spine, which took them a long time to diagnose, and also fibromyalgia. I have a lot of pain in my spine. It started out, it was from the base of my skull and went all the way down to my tailbone. It literally felt like I had hatchets all the way up and down my spine. And somebody would push them in and take them out a little bit, push them in, take them out. All of my muscles hurt, right here in my upper traps. They hurt all the way down my back into my lumbar. Horrible muscle spasms, very debilitating. The last couple of years, I couldn't even walk. I had to walk with a cane and I was all hunched over. I looked like I was about 90 years old.
As it escalated, she spent years trying various methods and medications to ease her pain.
I started off after I think my first or second car accident with physical therapy first. They tried like massage and traction. Then I went to a pain clinic in Ann Arbor, Michigan, who specialized in arthritis of the spine, and they gave me shots in my cervical, then they gave me shots in my thoracic, then in my lumbar. Then I had to go to acupuncture, and I always used heat and ice on my own, TENS unit. I pretty much tried every treatment there was.
But after an incident at work, Monica was forced to retire and became dependent on her family just to survive.
The last year that I worked, 2014, I started having problems with my legs giving out, trying to transfer people at work. I had to lift elderly people and people that weren't able to stand. And I started noticing that I was failing, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is not good. And then the last straw was I was transferring someone into bed who was about 90 years old, and I ended up in bed with them. My legs gave out, and then I could barely get up. So I went to the doctor the next day, and I says, I just can't do it anymore. I have to retire. I did not go to school and, give my heart and soul to all these people to hurt somebody. So that was it. So that year I retired, and I ended up having to pretty much live with my mom, and she had to take care of me because after I stopped taking the OxyContin, I just couldn't function. I was in bed, most of the day. She had to give me a shower, wash my hair. I was like a baby almost. It was really sad. Then I started coming down here with her to Florida like a snowbird because I couldn't take the cold weather anymore. So I got down here and I ended up meeting the man that I'm married to now, my husband, and he told me that he was riding motorcycles with a friend of his that they ride with through a Harley group. And he said, boy, why doesn't your wife ever ride with you? And he said, well, she's got terrible arthritis and she's in a lot of pain. She can't barely get out of bed. And he's like, well, you know what? He said, my cousin went to the Bonati Institute and they changed her life and you should go there. So my husband came home and told me about it. He's like, I know, you don't want to go to any more doctors. You're tired of everybody messing with you. I felt like a lab rat. He said, let's go give it a try. Let's just see what they have to say. So he made an appointment for me and we went to the Bonati Institute, and that was the turning point in my life where I started having hope to get quality of life back.
At her first appointment, she had consultations with both Dr. Nowak and Dr. Bonati.
The first day that I went to the Bonati Institute, we went back and saw the first doctor, Dr. Nowak, and he said they were going to have to do some additional MRIs and x-rays and things because the ones they had weren't really good quality, and they wanted to make sure they had a good picture of what was going on with my body. So they did all that, and then I met with Dr. Nowak, and he went through what types of things they could do for me, looked at my entire spine and said, okay, we're going to have to start at one spot. You have like 18 problems in your spine. We'll have to start somewhere, either at the bottom or the top, and figure out what to do from there. So they were going to set me up and do my lumbar first. And so that was going to be my first surgery, and it was going to be within about a month or so. And I was walking out, back out to the main lobby, and I was all hunched over walking with my cane, and Dr. Bonati saw me, and he said, hey, wait a minute, why are you walking like that? And I said, because I have to, I can't stand up straight. And he says, come with me. So he pulled me back in one of the rooms back there where they have the MRI, and he pulled out my MRIs and started looking at it. He says, you know what? I think we're going to have to start with your thoracic because you have compression fractures. Your back is actually broken. No wonder you're walking like that.
Targeting the most critical issue first, the Bonati team began Monica's surgical summary with her thoracic spine. While on the table in the operating room, she was able to confirm her pain was eliminated to the surgeons.
And they have you go right back to the surgery center. And I went back in there and put my Ted hose on for surgery and got all ready, got my hair all up in one of those funny things. And they took me back to the room, and the nurse did a complete, they go over you from head to toe. They talk about what they're going to do. Probably was maybe about half hour once I got back there, and they took me right back to surgery. They walked me down the hallway, and they take you to the operating room. And the first one, they did my thoracic, so I was looking down through this thing that my head was in, and there was a TV screen down there. And they said, we're going to wake you up during the surgery and because we need to know exactly where the pain is so we know how to help you. I remember them waking me up and saying, okay, where can you feel this? Where's the pain at? And I was like, my back, the right side, the left side, wherever the pain was at. And I told them, and the next thing you know, I was sleeping again. And then they woke me up and said, do you still feel the pain? And I'm like, wow, it feels better, And then that was the first surgery. So it was a pretty good experience.
Being the case with multi-level issues, Monica has more Bonati spine procedures to go, but she can already feel pain relief. She can walk with more confidence and begin to enjoy living her life again.
With each of the 5 surgeries that I had, each one was better and better, and I recovered more quickly each time. I think the first one, it took a couple weeks, and then I was really doing well. I was walking good. I actually could walk a little bit without my cane for the first time in 5 years. I can take a shower like a normal person without having to sit down on a tub seat. I can wash my own hair without somebody having to wash my hair, between my mom and my husband having to do it all the time. I have a little chihuahua, and I can take him for walks around the house, which I couldn't do before because I would fall all the time. I can clean my own house. It's pretty bad when you had to pay somebody to do it because you just physically couldn't do it anymore. I have a Camaro, and I can actually get in and out of my car now. Before the surgery, I couldn't even get out of the car. My husband had to literally pull me out, which was pretty sad. But now I can get in and out, no problem. I can go to the store and pick up things that I need, where before I could not do that.
Having witnessed those in chronic pain and experienced it herself, Monica recommends discussing your case with the Institute to learn if the Bonati spine procedures can help.
Being in pain so long all my life, and working with people in pain also, I would highly recommend anyone, if you have pain and you're at the end of your rope or you need help, just go to the Bonati Institute, talk to them, let them look at your case and see what they can do for you, because everyone told me there was nothing they could do, and look at me now. I'm a very improved person. My pain is probably half of what it was. If any of my patients that I would have had, if I would have known about this, I would have recommended it immediately, because it is scary having surgery on your spine, or anybody, going in there. You don't know what's going to happen. They put hardware in, you can get infections, whatever. This type of surgery is so much more advanced, and the recovery time is so much less that it's just a no-brainer. If you've got pain, go to Bonati. let them look at you. It'll change your life. It changed mine.